Hello, welcome back to my training room. This is Fitness Friday with Johnny Tiger. The date is Friday, July 3rd, 2020. Early happy 4th of July to my American friends and viewers and audience. Hopefully everyone remember to have a lot of fun, but above all else, remember to stay safe. Always stay safe. So today we are doing the 9 simple exercises you can do on your side. And now, even though it's 9 exercises, it actually come out to 18 because whatever you do on one side, you got to turn around and do it on the other side. We wouldn't want to end up with big muscles on one side and then being flabby on the other side. So, yeah, then with these uh, 18 exercises, and then with what we have done already on our knee, on our back, on our belly, you got a pretty decent workout routine going right there before you even get off the ground. Phew, make me tired just thinking about doing the whole thing. No, but as usual, before I start showing you what we're doing today, this is why I'm hiding behind the camera. Uh, well, because the camera is low to the ground, and I figured it's not very comfortable if I have to get down on the floor to talk. So I'm going to just stand behind the camera and talk for now, and then we'll get to the exercise. When I was a teenager, I started bodybuilding and fitness very early on. I started, I think, when I was 11 years old, and my father, like in so many other things that I got into, my father was the reason that I got into working out and fitness. My dad would force me and my brothers to go to the gym and force us to have to do 20 push-ups before we could be allowed to go to bed every night. There's a bit of story on those push-ups. If you guys are interested in that, go to the Johnny Tiger YouTube channel. You can find it on johnnytiger.com. Find the episode called The Screwdriver, and you will know how crazy it was back then, growing up with a father who was obsessed with his kids had to be strong and powerful and all that stuff. So, long story short, I started working out at a young age, and by the time I was 15, 16 years old, I had uh, already worked out some decent muscle and decent muscle power. I was rather proud of myself. I mean, I was definitely considered to be one of the strongest in my peer group. There were maybe a handful of kids that were stronger than me at the gym, lift more weight and stuff like that. But I was definitely up there as one of the more fit, more strong, more athletic one by the time I was about 17 years old. But I remember when I was 16, I remember I went to this summer camp, and there was this little guy there, little dude. He was about the same age. Maybe he was a couple of 8 years older than me, and he was small. He was like maybe 5'1", 5'2", and soaking wet, he probably would only weigh about 100 pounds. Uh, very lean, very tiny. Uh, and I remember one night when we were sitting around the campfire, a whole bunch of us bigger guys started to arm wrestle, as the guys would too full up on testosterone would want to do, either wrestling or sumo wrestling or arm wrestling. Well, that night it was arm wrestling, and this little guy got into the game and he single-handedly out arm wrestled every single one of us. And every single one of us weighed almost twice of what he weighed. Every single one of us has biceps twice the size of his. I was so impressed by that. Afterward, I asked him. I said, "Dude, like, what's your workout like? What kind of routine are you doing?" He said, "What do you mean? What do you mean by workout?" I said, "Well, like when you go to the gym." And he said, "I don't go to the gym. I don't have time to go to the gym. I work on a farm. I spend most of my day from 6 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, loading hay into the truck, throwing hay into the barn, throwing hay into the hayloft. I just spend my day working." That was the beginning of a little sneaky idea in my head that going to the gym, building defined muscles might not be everything. Fast forward about 8 years, I was now about 25 years old. I was out again camping, this time with my good friend Harvey. And I remember the two of us, we were walking to the campsite from fetching water from the general store, just about 2 miles away from the campsite. We were lugging this huge water cooler between us, and I was huffing and puffing, and there was Harvey, about 5'2", again, small, pretty small dude, uh, never go to the gym a day in his life. He was carrying his end of the water cooler like it's just another stroll in the park. And I asked him, I said, why is that? Like, how does that work? Like, I go to the gym almost every day. I swim, I box, I do martial arts, I do all these things. And yet, I am getting burned out by this carrying this cooler of water, and yet you don't seem to be bothered by it. And Harvey told me, he said, well, it's because I'm a mechanic. I work with my arms every day, my hands are uh, getting lugs and screws out of cars, taking engines apart, putting them back together, carrying the motor in and out of cars, and taking off wheels, putting wheels on. So I'm used to working with my arms, and so carrying water is no problem. Those two experiences taught me something that very important. Before you decide to go all in and start building big muscles, you gotta ask yourself, what are you working out for? If your goal is to look good and be able to impress people, then yes, spending a lot of time at the gym, sculpting every single bit of your body is the right thing to do. But if your goal was to develop useful, functional muscle, then you need to go out of the comfort zone. Rather than sitting at the machine, sitting at the bench, and lifting things that were meant to be lifted, pulling things that were meant to be pulled. You want to get out of your comfort zone and actually do something that simulates what you're going to actually use your muscle for. If you want to be a good fighter, you got to hit the punching bag. You got to do your knuckle push-up. You got to do your jumping push-up. You got to do your burpees. You got to do your cardio. If you want to be a strong person when you out there working, then you want to carry heavy backpacks and lift big upward weights that maybe in a punching bag or a backpack and stuff like that. You want to work out just like how you want to use the muscle. Because the one thing that I learned from those two experiences is big muscles, beautiful muscles, don't necessarily mean that they're functional muscles or that they can function at their peak performance. It's all up to you what you want to use your muscle for. For me, being a martial artist above and beyond everything else, I choose to have functional muscle that can carry me through training, defensive, self-defense situations, and fighting situation. And with that, here I am. um, Finally get to see me on the camera. Today we are going to be working out on our side. Just like when you're watching TV, sometimes you prop yourself up on your elbow and just like nice and comfortable. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to lay on our side, and I'm going to be propping myself up on my bottom elbow. Stability is a very important thing when you're working on your side. So usually you want to have your bottom leg forward, upper leg, the top leg back, or you want to switch one leg forward, one leg back to give you the optimum stability when you're working, especially if you're lifting weight. But we're not going to touch the dumbbells yet. We're going to first work on uh, things that you can do without the dumbbell. First, the most basic is the hip up. While I'm laying here on my side, I'm going to keep my bottom leg and my elbow on the ground. I'm going to lift my hip off the ground and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, depending on if this is too easy or too hard for you, you can adjust this. If you bend your bottom leg so your knees are bent, your knees is bent, and then you put your top foot also to the ground, then this becomes a lot easier to lift your hip off the ground. Now, if you want more challenge, then you straighten your bottom leg, so your bottom leg is straight, and you go up and down, up and down. You'll immediately notice that this is a lot harder. Now, if you want it to be even harder, then you take your top leg out of the equation. So I bring my top knee up and holding onto it with my top hand. Go up and down, up and down, up and down. This is really a lot harder. So that is your first exercise. Hip up from the side. Your second exercise is hip up with a kick. So exactly the same as the first one, but this time we're going to take our top foot and kick it toward the ceiling at a 45-degree angle. So you're not going all the way 90 degrees to the ceiling. You're kicking at a 45-degree angle like someone's approaching me from my leg end and I want to kick them. Okay? So as I go up, I kick down. As I go up, I kick and down. As I go up, I kick and down. Go up and kick down. If you want it to be a little bit more challenge, then hold the top position for a little bit. So when I kick, 1, 2, 3, down. Up and kick, 1, 2, 3, down. Up and kick, 1, 2, down. Just like that. Turning myself around, so just in case the angle is not optimum. Number 3, side crunches. So this one, we are still on our elbow, laying on our side. My top arm straight above my head, and all I'm going to do is my hand, my top hand, and my top foot is going to meet in the middle. So every time after you touch your foot, remember you want to bring your leg back down straight, your arm back up straight. So don't just leave them up there in the air. There has to be an up, down motion. Tap, down, tap, stretch, tap, stretch, tap, stretch. Exercise number 4. We'll be bringing our top knee up as a high knee and then kick back. High knee, kick back. High knee, kick back. Every time I do that, every time I start moving my top leg, I'm lifting my hip off the ground, just like the hip up. So I lift, high knee, kick back, down. Lift up, high knee, kick back, down. Lift up, high knee, kick back, down. Number 5. Now we are going to grab our dumbbell or whatever weight you have. Our first dumbbell exercise while laying on our side. Remember, when you are using weight, to make sure you are stable. So one leg forward, one leg back to give yourself stability. First one is easy. I have my dumbbell right in front of my uh, stomach. I'm going to pick this up and put it behind my lower back, and then pick it up, bring it back front, pick it up, bring it to the back, pick it up, bring it to the front, pick it up, bring it to the back, pick it up, put it to the front, pick it up, bring it to the back, pick it up, put it to the front. Exercise number 6. This time, we are going to put the dumbbell as far away from us, in front of us as we can. So I'm going to take this dumbbell and put it way out there. So if I want to grab it, I actually have to twist and reach to get a hold of it. Okay? I'm going to pick this up, pull it to my hip, and then bring it back out, put it down, pick it up again, pull it to my hip, put it back out as far as it will go, pick it up, pull it to my hip, put it back out, pull it back to my hip, pick it out again. Going to change side, so hopefully you guys get some workable angles. And also I want to give my left arm a rest. What can I say? I'm a wimp. Now, exercise number 7. We're going to do lateral pull down from the side. So, rather than being on my elbow, I'm going to actually lean down. So I'm on my side. I'm laying on my left shoulder. Okay? The reason is, since no one is spotting for me, I want my left arm, my bottom arm, to be free, just in case I need to suddenly grab the weight for my right arm. Okay? Always think about safety. So we are going to take this dumbbell and hold it straight out into the air, straight out to the side, towards the ceiling. And then we let our arm tilt to our head side, keeping our elbow straight, and then come back up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Exercise number 8. Same motion, but this time we are going to use our elbow. We are going to bend, let our elbow bend and straighten the tricep lift. Now, I'm going to guard my elbow with my bottom arm a little bit. So, bend, dumbbell is by my face, and then I straighten my arm. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten. Make sure you don't hit yourself in the face. This is why you have your left hand here to guard it. Straighten. One more to go. Changing angle again. This time we're going to do the lateral lift from the side. So I'm going to be leaning on my side. I'm going to have my arms straight, my dumbbell resting right here above my top hip. And without bending my elbow, I'm just going to lift it straight up towards the ceiling. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And remember, when you do these, you got to do on both sides. Thank you for checking out today's Fitness Friday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Survival Saturday. Have a beautiful 4th of July. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good night.